right now. So, first and foremost, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I always share all these greetings because our students come from everywhere. The US, outside the US, East Coast, West Coast. So I know all kinds of time zones are on this call usually, which is great. And I'm just going to formally introduce myself. I feel like at this point, a lot of you know who I am since you've probably seen me on many calls, but just in case this is your first time, Alfred Guaman, the Assistant Director of Marketing and Graduate Recruitment. And I work with all of our students who apply to our Masters of Engineering as well as our Jacobs dual MS degree programs. And I just wanted to once again say congratulations. And lastly, you guys are going to be here soon, so super exciting, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys in about a month and a half or so. Okay, so that's me. What I'm now going to do is I'm actually going to turn it over to my colleagues who represent the Bursar's office and who will introduce themselves, but also take it over from here. Maybe I'll let you start off, Casey.
Good morning, everyone. And I echo the same sentiment as Alfred. Congratulations on your acceptance. This is going to be an exciting time as you enter a new chapter of your life. I am the Bursar Account Services Manager. We primarily work with students and parents and then our campus partners to help you kind of navigate your financial journey here at Cornell. And I'll pass it to Brittany.
Hi, everyone. Congratulations. Welcome. My name is Brittany Spence, and I am the Bursar Support Lead here at the university. And I'm just going to be going through the quick presentation about the Bursar office and some things that you would need to know. All right, if everyone's ready, I'll go ahead and share and start the presentation. All right. All right, so firstly, I'm just going to go over our billing. The Bursar office bills every month. Our fall statement this year is going to be generated the evening of July 10th, and it is going to be due the 7th of August. Every statement is due the 7th of each following month to prevent past due holds, finance charges. Our spring statement is going to be billed on January 8th, due February 7th. The Bursar account and Cornell card are billed in one statement. I'll get into the Cornell card a little bit on the next slide. And I do want to mention pending financial aid, including loans, scholarships, credits. These are listed on the Bursar account statement. So you will see the pending aid listed there. Alfred, do you want to kind of go over some of the timing on that, like scholarships aid?
Yeah, so I just wanted to share with folks on the call because I know some of you may also have been awarded scholarships. I do want to let you all know that it will be posted prior to July 10th. So if you don't see it right now, don't worry about it. You can rest assured that when you see that fall statement, it will be available and ready for your review as well when it comes to understanding your billing and so forth. So, yep, just wanted to share that. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, and back to our Cornell card. So this program is optional. If you are opted in, it is tied to the ID card. It can be used at the Cornell store website. So even if you are not on campus, you can use it there. There is a $10 semester fee participation. So if you are opted into this program, you will be billed $10 to have this service active, which will appear again on that Bursar bill. With the Cornell card, there is a purchase limit of $1,500. This is not something that is like a line of credit or given to you. It's just simply a max amount that you can spend on this card. Once you hit that $1,500, it must be paid down for you to purchase again. What you spend, that's what you're billed for. That's what's going to show up on your statement. It's very important to review these CashNet invoices on a monthly basis because we don't want to have any holds or any holdups on your activity, your enrollment. And to make sure that your billing is accurate, payments that you're responsible will be made by the due date of the bill. All right, and here is what our statements look like. So this is a generic statement example. So we're going to have on the upper right-hand corner over here, always going to say your billing date, due date, and then this right here, ID number, that's your 7-digit ID number. This is what our office is going to ask for if you are an authorized user call with billing inquiries. Down here in the pink section, this is where you're going to see your item details. So all of your list of charges, credits, examples, charges here. So activity fee, tuition, anything that you're billed, any credits, any deposits that you've made are going to appear on the credit side. For example, you can look at the Cornell Tech acceptance deposit, that $1,000. That's where that's going to show. It's going to credit towards your tuition. Credits for your Bursar rent. That is also going to appear in the credits. Pending aid that we went over, this is where it's going to appear. It's always going to be on the bottom there. And that pending aid is going to count as a credit. And then the quick calculation in the white box below. So we're going to see your charges, your actual credits. So that is anything that you've already paid, deposits, current balance, and then we're factoring in that pending aid. So this is what you're anticipating your aid to be. Total amount due, this is your responsibility, your out-of-pocket balance due. Cornell card, anything on there is going to be at the bottom here, appearing under the Cornell card account. So just a quick little synopsis of the statement, what it's going to look like. All right, and now the fun part. So to pay your bill, so we use the CashNet portal. This is where you're going to view all your statements, bills, tax forms, and where you can submit your payment from a U.S. checking or savings account or participating 529. We do offer a payment plan. It is called the full service payment plan, and it is managed through the CashNet portal. So what this is essentially the monthly payment plan, a 5-pay plan. To enroll, there is an enrollment fee, which is $125. There is no additional interest. So you pay this $125 enrollment fee, and that is for your semester plan. And you pay that right up front before it divides into 5. This is offered for the fall and spring semesters. For the fall, it runs from August 1st to December 1st. So if you, for example, are set on auto pay, it is going to come out the first of each of one of those months. Spring semester runs from January to May 1st. Okay, and credit cards. Now, in the full service payment plan, this is the only way to pay via a credit card. CashNet does allow it for a convenience fee. So for credit cards, if you plan on using that, your monthly payment, so each transaction would have an additional extra fee, which would be, if you're using a domestic card, it would be 2.85% on each transaction. If you're using a foreign credit card, it's going to be 4.25% on each transaction. So just keep that in mind. Okay. And then for wires, all wires, so domestic wires, international wires, all go through our Flywire portal. That is linked right on our Bursar website under our payment methods, and you'll find that there. For all checks, money orders, you can mail it to 260 Day Hall. Again, this mailing address and the details are listed on our website under the payment methods. We do not accept cash. So if you do come in the office, we won't accept cash. Important to note. All right, and our next topic, we're going to go over third-party billing very quickly. Our third-party billing allows companies, corporations, government agencies to establish billing arrangements. To have a credit applied by the due date of the summer tuition, you'll need to complete the FERPA form, which we'll link here, and upload a copy of that sponsor letter or voucher. That way our office can invoice that sponsor or company no later than August 7th. So that is the deadline to get that uploaded. And you can upload it right on that same site. Once the letter is received, our office does post a credit, and we do label it deferred credit sponsor for the authorized amount. Audrey Nugent, she is our third-party billings representative. She actually sends a special invoice to the sponsor, and the sponsor pays directly to Cornell. And if anyone has any questions about third-party billing sponsors, you can make it attention to Audrey Nugent here, and send it to bursar@cornell.edu. All right, so just really quick, want to go over the CashNet portal on how to add an authorized user. So as a student, when you log in, you have the ability to add a payer on your account and are an authorized user. Our office is not able to speak to a parent or someone calling about billing unless that they are listed as an authorized person in CashNet. So how to do that? So once you log into CashNet, we're going to go left to right here, starting with My Account. So the My Account tab is where you're going to click first. Over here, you're going to go to Send a Payer Invitation, which will pop up with this box here. You will need to fill in the 4 designated items here. And then under Payer Access, you can allow them for statements, tax forms, one or the other, or both. Once this is all filled in, you'll send the invitation. So the invited payer will get an email directly from CashNet with a temporary login. Once they use that login, they can create their own password to something more memorable. This will give them access to all of your billing statements, payments, and payment plans. All right, so other important Bursar facts. To enroll in direct deposit for refunds is through Nelnet, which is also on our site under direct deposit. Nelnet, you must have a U.S. checking or savings account for direct deposit. Any refunds issued via direct deposit from our office take about 2 to 3 business days to deposit into the account. It is important to note that some refunds may generate automatically. Others you may need to request the refund be generated, in which you can contact our office via email or phone to do that. Also, quickly want to go over financial responsibility agreement. This is very important. You will have an alert to complete this, and it must be completed each academic year. So this form is to help you understand the payments, policies for Cornell University, and then also, if you take a leave of absence or withdrawal, we'll get into that with that financial responsibility. And most importantly, make sure you're reviewing any Bursar communications that you see come your way. Please don't ignore them. Usually if our office is sending something, it's important to look at. All right, and then going over to our tuition liability. So if a student requests a leave of absence or withdrawal from the university, the tuition amounts paid by the student may be refunded at a prorated schedule. And below here is that schedule. So students whose instruction term begins on or after the official instruction date can rely on the calendar dates listed below. If the student is enrolled in classes that begin earlier, can refer to the day ranges in parentheses. And then please note that a change of enrollment status at any point could result in a revision of the financial aid award. So below we have our fall 26 and spring 27 leave and withdrawal dates and the percentage. You'll see depending on the days, they do go up by 10% liability. This can be found right on our Bursar website as well under leaving and withdrawing. And if anyone has any specific Bursar questions, billing, refunds, we are available Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. via phone. And this is our number you can call. Our email is listed there. If you prefer to make a virtual appointment with our office via Zoom, you will want to use the Cornell Chatter, and you will use your NetID to log in there. And those are our available Chatter appointment timelines as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, everyone, I know we received a great and detailed presentation that shared all the information that you're probably looking for. But if there was any additional curiosities or questions outside of this, now is a good and appropriate time, in addition to what was mentioned in terms of the other availabilities. But if you have a question, I would say there's two ways to appropriately ask this question at the moment. So, um, as you guys have seen, the chat function is an option. So you could write your question there if you are curious about something. If you also prefer to ask it live, what we would ask is for you to use the raising hand feature that Zoom allows students to use. So how you would do that is if you click on React, that allows you to see effects and reactions, but also allows you to choose the raising hand feature. So yeah, you don't have to physically do it, just using the using the Zoom feature. So either one of those is fine. We'll make sure that we'll respond to students and their inquiries at either format. So yeah, if you have any questions at this moment, feel free to ask. We're here for you. Looks like it's been covered so well. Oh, he- um,
Mhm.
here we go. It looks like there was a question on the chat, but I think it was also answered very rapidly in the chat as well. Um, which was, where can I find the information regarding the deadline of tuition? Um, and I think,
Yep, so August 7th. So the fall bill will be generated July 10th, the evening of July 10th in a CashNet, due August 7th.
yep, exactly. And then I think someone said, what's the normal timeline for these payments? They also came in late, unfortunately. And it looks like a link was provided as well. Great. And then it says, and this is via the different methods mentioned, right? Example, CashNet and so forth.
Yes, so all payment methods. So August 7th is that billing deadline, all payment methods.
Excellent.
All
Um,
right, I see. Okay, for rent, pay installments or pay all at once. So you can enroll everything in the installment plan. However, if your rent is billed on a monthly basis, it won't automatically update your plan. You would have to actually go into your plan and update it each time you have an increase to your bill. Once you do that, it'll recalculate the remaining payments for the five pay plan.
great. One asked, how are outside scholarships handled through the Bursar?
So outside scholarships are actually handled through the financial aid office. Once they are processed through their office, they will show as pending aid on your account. And then once they disperse, it'll also appear on your CashNet portal that scholarship has dispersed to your account.
Great. I'm happy to take this question unless Brittany or Casey want to expand on this. But the question is, where or when can I take out student loans? So if you're looking to take federal student loans, you should already start working on that process now. So you should go on the FAFSA website, and there's an application that you submit. And then once you complete that, you'll be given next steps on how to go about that. But that's really a simple answer. So yeah, do it right away. Let's just take another look. How would the billing be generated if we want to pay via wire or flywire? I guess that's probably what they meant to say. Or maybe just wire, I'm
So
sorry.
billing is, yeah, so billing is generated the same. It's all generated in that CashNet portal. So you do still want to refer to CashNet for your billing. And then you can just pay via Flywire after you review your bill in CashNet.
Great. Does the house? I think you may have answered it, but it says, does the house rent bill per semester? I can find that out if you don't know that information. Do you know the answer to that, Brittany?
Yes, yep. So typically we do see that it is billed per semester.
Okay, great. Oh, I see Casey already beat us to it, but it's also good to have not just a chat confirmation, but a verbal confirmation as well. So, but
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, Good questions. Any other questions, folks? Going once. I'm even saying it very slowly.
I just have
Going.
one question. Is anyone on the chat a VA student or expecting VA benefits? If you are and you have not already done so, please make sure that you're completing your VA request form as well. So that way we know that you're planning on using those benefits and know what chapter you're trying to utilize.
Um, I know you'd mentioned this already in the presentation. I think they had asked about the office hours again.
Currently, we're on our so in office hours, we're currently on our summer hours. So right now, we're only open in person Monday through Wednesday, and it is 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We break from 1 to 2 for lunch. Once I want to say maybe mid-July, we're going to go back to our normal hours, which is just extending one more day to Thursday. Our office is fully remote Fridays, so Monday through Thursday, we are available in person during those designated hours.
Great. There's a couple other questions. They may be more financial aid related, but I'm still going to ask in case you may have the answer. The question is if we're not staying in student housing, can we take out cost of attendance and loans?
I I would maybe defer that to Johnson Financial Aid. I believe so. Casey's saying yes, I think so.
Yes, and all these students aren't necessarily Johnson either. So we have a mix of graduate that will fall under Ginger, and then also we have some Johnson students. So the financial aid package, they do take into consideration a cost of attendance for housing, regardless if you're residing at the Cornell Tech campus or not. So you'll see that when they calculate your package need.
Great. And then another question, and this may have been answered in the chat already, but just to answer it, I guess, live as well. It says for a mix of funds, for example, an educational loan from U.S. lender and international transfer, how should one go about it?
So for that, you'd want to refer back to that statement. So ideally, you will see that loan as pending on your statement. So when you initiate the wire transfer, you're only going to initiate it for your out-of-pocket cost. So take into consideration that loan that's there.
Great. Just looking through the chat one more time just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I feel like we may have covered everything, but I'm just double checking. Yeah, I think we're pretty up to date on the questions via chat. But again, if you guys have any questions, you can ask it live or via the chat. Um, and it looks like also what's great is that I know it was just shared in the presentation, but also on the chat, some contact information and ways to chat are also available there. If you have questions beyond today, you don't have to always have all the questions today. So just want to put that out there. All right, going once, going twice. I think that's it. Well, I just wanted to thank Brittany. I wanted to thank Casey. Um, I really appreciate it, and I know our students appreciate it. And again, this is recorded, so you will be able to refer to this at a later time as well if you need a refresher or have any additional questions that that you're curious about. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a good day or evening or afternoon.